For some time now, Republicans have focused on persuading Americans President Biden simply unfit to serve. Well, now that he's exited the 2024 presidential race, the Republican Party is shifting its attention, quite naturally, to Vice President Kamala Harris. Republican Congressman Byron Donalds joins me now to discuss this. Congressman Donalds is a member in good standing of the Takeout Podcast Hall of Participants. He doesn't know that's a thing, but trust me, it's a thing. Congressman Donalds, good to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well. Do you want an explanation from President Biden this evening in his primetime address?
I think the nation deserves one, 100%. He's the person that actually got votes in the Democratic primary process to be their nominee. And now, inexplicably, he's leaving. Kamala Harris now is soaking up all the delegates. Apparently, she has them all to get their nomination. She's not received a single vote, whether in the 2024 primary or the 2020 primary, to be a major party nominee. So Joe Biden does owe the country an explanation.
Is it just a political explanation that you see, Congressman Donalds, or an explanation about what comes next for the remainder of his lame duck presidency?
It's both, actually. Joe Biden is president of the United States. He holds the nuclear football. He gets the daily presidential briefing. We're not just talking about just a random campaign. He is sitting in the Oval Office, and if he's not going to stand for election because his poll numbers are atrocious and the Democrat Party forced him out, then there has to be a concrete reason why. And if it's simply because he cannot win, then there's a serious question, why do they think he can't win? And then if that has to do with his mental capabilities, then why should he continue to serve out the rest of his term as commander-in-chief?
On our program, before you were able to come on, Congressman Donalds, your colleague Richard Hudson, who, as you know, is the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, said that members running for election in 2024 should focus on the issues and not say things like Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate or DEI vice president. Do you agree?
I do agree. I think if you take a look at where we are right now, like I said, Kamala Harris looks like she's going to be the nominee of the Democrat Party. But her agenda and her record is just as bad as Joe Biden's. Massive inflation, which has crippled middle-income families and poor families in our country. Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the Senate because the Senate was 50-50 for that bill, the American Rescue Plan, to move forward, which unleashed its inflation, which has hurt every working family in our country. Number two, she is the border czar. Joe Biden dubbed her the border czar. She went to the border once for about 30 minutes, and she did nothing. While Americans have been suffering, whether it's a red state or a blue state, she did nothing. She was derelict in her duty and the job that Joe Biden assigned her. So because she was a failure to the American people, she doesn't deserve to now get a promotion into the presidency of the United States. I believe that's where our colleagues should focus their attention, because her record has been bad for all of America.
Have you had any conversations along these lines, Congressman Donalds, with your Republican colleagues who seem to have no trouble bringing up this DEI language?
We had that conversation, and if we're going to be honest, the members are actually not talking about that anymore. But we can't control when the media likes to play a clip from 2 days ago and run it over and over and over again. I will also add, I've had an opportunity to listen to Kamala Harris on the stump. She's not talking about the issues facing the American people: inflation, border security, a foreign policy where we are in the middle of two conflicts on the world stage. She's not talking about that. She's coming up with the old tropes of not going back so we can go forward. I listened to it. It doesn't mean anything. It's phraseology to trigger an emotional response, but it's not going to deal with the issues facing the American people. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are talking about those issues. They're talking about the policies that our country is going to need to truly move forward and to become great once again.
Congressman Donalds, Winston Churchill addressed the United States Congress 3 times. Benjamin Netanyahu delivered his 4th address this afternoon. The importance of today's speech from your perspective?
The number one thing was to make the world understand that we stand with Israel with no equivocations. They are our greatest ally in that region. We stand with the Jewish people, and we stand with the state of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu gave a tremendous address today. There was no sugarcoating what his position is with respect to Hamas and with respect to the resolve of Israel doing everything in their power to get the hostages back. I thought it was a great speech. I've been on Capitol Hill 4 years. It's the best speech I've heard in that chamber in my 4 years here. He did a great job today, and that's what the world needs to hear. The time has come for strength and leadership, not cute phrases that make everybody feel good, because those cute phrases are not backed up by sound policy that actually promote the lives of whether it's the American people here at home or our Israeli friends abroad or anybody else across the globe.
Florida Congressman, Republican Byron Donalds, thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.